Some trees are taller than skyscrapers. Others glow with colors you might think were painted on. From ancient giants that have stood for thousands of years to bizarre species with unusual survival strategies, these are nature's most unbelievable creations. Across continents and climates, they have withstood fire, frost, and human interference. Now meet the world's most amazing trees. Number 16. Baobab trees. Some trees hold the sky and the earth at the same time. Stand beneath a baobab and you feel a quiet power that is ancient, strange, and alive. Baobab trees are living legends. People call them the tree of life because they survive in very dry places by storing water inside their enormous trunks. Imagine a tree with a trunk wider than a small house. Some baobabs reach up to 11 meters across. These trunks act like natural water tanks. A single baobab can hold as much as 120,000 liters of water, sustaining the tree during long dry seasons. From a distance, their branches look odd, as if the tree were upside down, spreading out like roots reaching for the sky. Baobabs can live for an extraordinarily long time. Carbon dating shows that some are more than 2,000 years old. As they age, many trees become hollow, creating natural rooms that shelter animals, and in some places, people. The tree's fruit is high in vitamin C and feeds both people and wildlife. Birds, bats, and bees use the baobab for nesting and shelter. Even when elephants strip the bark, the baobab often heals itself. Its thick bark resists fire and can grow back after damage. In short, the baobab is a giant survivor, a water holder, a food source, and a home for many creatures. It looks strange, lives for centuries, and quietly supports whole ecosystems in the harshest landscapes. Number 15. Angel Oak. Deep in the woods of Johns Island, near Charleston, South Carolina, stands a living masterpiece, the Angel Oak. At first glance, it seems pulled from a fairy tale, a massive, tangled cathedral of limbs and leaves. The tree reaches about 66 feet tall, but its true wonder is how far it spreads. Its branches form a canopy that covers roughly 17,000 square feet. One single limb stretches nearly 187 feet from tip to tip. Some branches are so heavy they rest on the ground, dip below the soil, and rise again. Experts estimate the angel oak is between 400 and 500 years old. It began growing in the colonial era and has watched centuries pass. Powerful hurricanes, strong earthquakes, severe floods, and rapid changes from nearby development. Still, the tree stands strong, a living witness to history and a quiet symbol of endurance. Number 14. Dragon's Blood Tree. High on the windswept islands of Socotra grows a tree that looks like it belongs in a fairy tale. Locals call it the Dragon's Blood Tree. From a distance, its crown spreads like a giant umbrella or a mushroom, a shape so strange you might think an artist made it. This shape is no accident. The branches are tightly packed and point upward to catch morning mist. Water gathers on the leaves, runs down the branches, and drips straight to the roots. At the same time, the wide crown shades the ground, keeping the soil cool and stopping water from evaporating. In a dry, harsh climate, this clever design helps the tree survive. If you cut the bark, a thick red sap pours out. The sap looks like blood, and people long ago used it for many things. Romans and Greeks prized it as a red dye for cloth and pottery. Craftsmen mixed it into varnish for violins. Some used it as lipstick or as a medicine. Today, the bright resin still fascinates scientists and artists alike. The dragon's blood tree is also unusual because it can grow wider stems and roots as it ages, a rare ability for trees like it. It grows slowly and often reaches about 30 to 39 feet tall. Some trees live for 500 to 650 years. Ancient, strange, and perfectly suited to its island home, this tree stands as one of the world's most remarkable natural wonders. Number 13. Circus Trees. The circus trees at Gilroy Gardens in California are living works of art. They were shaped by Axel Erlandson, a Swedish immigrant who began his work in the 1920s. One day, he noticed two trees in the wild that had grown together. That sight gave him an idea. What if he could guide trees to grow into new shapes? For more than 40 years, Erlandson bent and joined tree trunks to create patterns. He used grafting and a technique called pleaching, which lets branches fuse and form strong, living connections. He worked mostly with sycamores, box elders, and ash trees. He also used frames and wire braces to control how fast parts of the trees grew. In 1946, Erlandson opened a small attraction called the Tree Circus in Scotts Valley, California. People were amazed. Life magazine and Ripley's Believe It or Not wrote about his trees, bringing him wider attention. After Erlandson died in 1964, the trees almost disappeared. They faced neglect and possible loss. In 1984, park founder Michael Bonfant saved the remaining trees. He moved 25 of the best specimens to Gilroy Gardens, where they could be cared for and seen by visitors. Today, many of those circus trees still stand. Visitors walk past the basket tree, the arch tree, and other strange, beautiful shapes. Each tree is a reminder of patience, skill, and one man's wish to let living things become art. Number 12. General Sherman. The General Sherman tree rises like a giant among giants. Located in the forest of Sequoia National Park in California, it is the largest single-stem tree on Earth by wood volume. When you stand beside it, you feel small, as if time itself leans against that thick trunk. General Sherman is neither the tallest nor the widest tree, yet no other tree contains as much wood. Its total volume is about 52,500 cubic feet, enough to fill a very large house many times over. One of its branches measures more than 7 feet across, wider than most whole trees you see in parks. Scientists estimate General Sherman is between 2,200 and 2,700 years old. It was already growing when the Roman Empire was rising. Even after so many centuries, General Sherman continues to grow. Each year it adds enough wood to form a 60-foot oak. Its reddish-brown bark is thick and deeply grooved. That bark contains tannic acid, which helps protect the tree from insects and from the fierce fires that sometimes sweep the forest. Standing beneath General Sherman, you can feel history and life braided together. A living monument that continues breathing, growing, and protecting the world around it. Number 11. Vouves tree. The olive tree of Vouves is one of the world's most remarkable trees. It grows in the quiet village of Vouves on the Greek island of Crete. People travel from far and wide to see its twisted ancient trunk and to stand beneath its silver-green leaves. Scientists at the University of Crete estimate the tree is likely between 3,000 and 4,000 years old. No one can give an exact age. The tree's heartwood has rotted away, so radioisotope dating is not possible. Still, nearby graves from the geometric period and other evidence make it clear this olive has lived through many human eras. The trunk of the tree is huge and gnarled. Its base measures about 12.5 meters around. Over thousands of years, the wood has bent and turned into shapes that look like a living sculpture. The hollow inside adds to its mysterious appearance. Yet the tree is full of life. Even now, the Vouves olive produces high-quality olives every season. Olive trees renew wood outward as they grow, and this tree shows that strength. For many people, it is a symbol of endurance and immortality, a living bridge between the distant past and the present day. Number 10. The Rainbow Eucalyptus. Deep in tropical forests, a tree looks like a painter's bold mistake, and yet it fits perfectly. The Rainbow Eucalyptus wears bands of bright color down its trunk. From a distance, it seems unreal. Up close, it feels like a living painting. Each day, the tree changes a little. Strips of outer bark peel away at different times. Underneath, the new inner bark is a vivid neon green. As air and sunlight touch it, the green slowly becomes blue, purple, orange, and maroon. Because the strips peel separately, many colors appear at once, as if someone painted the trunk in layers. This tree behaves differently from other eucalyptus. It is the only eucalyptus native to the northern hemisphere. You can find it in the rainforests of the Philippines, Indonesia, and Papua New Guinea. It thrives in hot, humid places that receive heavy rainfall. People have also planted it in Hawaii, parts of Florida, and Costa Rica. The rainbow eucalyptus is more than attractive bark. In its native forests, it can grow as tall as 75 meters, which is about 246 feet. It grows quickly, often increasing by 2 to 3 meters each year. When the tree sheds bark, it removes pollution that collects on its surface. It also absorbs large amounts of water. Because of this, people have used it to drain swampy land and reduce areas where malaria-carrying mosquitoes breed. Its strong roots and fast growth help hold rainforest soil in place. Seen up close, the rainbow eucalyptus is a living canvas and an active part of the forest. It shows how beauty and usefulness can come from the same tree. Number 9. Denosha Mulberry Tree. The Denosha mulberry tree is one of the most remarkable trees on Earth. It stands alone in a quiet meadow in the small village of Denosha, about 5 kilometers east of Podgorica, the capital of Montenegro. People travel from far away to see something very few trees can do. It becomes a living water fountain. The tree is about 100 to 150 years old. Over time, its trunk hollowed out, leaving a large empty space inside. Beneath the meadow, there are several underground streams. When heavy rain falls or when spring snow melts, These underground chambers fill and flood. The rising water builds great pressure beneath the ground. That pressure looks for a way out. The easiest route is up through the tree's roots and into its hollow core. When the water finds this path, it bursts out through a cavity in the trunk about 1.5 meters above the ground. For a short time, the tree pours clear water into the air, like a natural fountain. This watery display is rare. It usually happens only once a year after the heaviest rains. When it does, visitors gather to watch the mulberry tree turn rain and groundwater into a living, flowing spectacle, a surprising show of nature in a peaceful meadow. Number 8. Giant Tingle Tree. The giant tingle tree stands like an old guardian in a cool, misty forest. People call it one of the most amazing trees in the world because of its enormous size and its unusual ability to keep living after fire hollowed out its heart. This tree is a red tingle, a species of eucalyptus called Eucalyptus jacksoni. It is more than 400 years old. Its trunk is enormous, about 22.3 meters around. That makes it the widest living eucalypt known. Over many years, fierce bushfires burned away the tree's inner wood. You might think that would kill it. Trees move water and nutrients through the living layers just beneath the bark. Those outer layers remained healthy, so the tingle continued to grow taller and stronger, even though its center was gone. Red tingles do not grow deep roots. Instead, they spread wide, shallow roots and form huge buttressed bases to hold themselves steady in the damp soil. These supports help the tree survive storms and wet ground. You can find red tingles only in a tiny coastal strip in southwestern Australia, covering just a few hundred square kilometers. That small range makes them rare and precious. Standing beside the giant tingle, you feel the slow, steady force of life that has endured for centuries. Number 7. Queen Elizabeth Oak. The Queen Elizabeth Oak stands in Cowdray Park, West Sussex. People call it one of the most amazing trees in the world. It is a very old sessile oak, and its size alone makes it awe-inspiring. Long ago, in 1591, Queen Elizabeth visited the Cowdray estate. Local people say she waited beneath the oak with a bow and arrow to shoot a stag during a royal hunt. Whether this really happened or is just a story, the tale links the tree to England's royal past. Inside, the oak is hollow. The hollow is so large that caretakers say an old Mini Cooper could fit inside. A lightning strike centuries ago probably started the hollowing. Even so, the tree remains healthy and continues to grow. The oak's wide, low crown lives on new shoots that sprout directly from the old bark. This kind of growth helps the tree survive long after its heartwood was lost. People once practiced pollarding, cutting back the upper branches to help the tree live longer. That old care, and the tree's own resilience, gave it many cracks, cavities, and thick furrows in the bark. Those features make the oak a tiny world of its own. Hundreds of species rely on it. Fungi that break down dead wood, insects that shelter in crevices, birds that nest in hollows, and bats that roost in the dark. Young trees cannot support this variety. The Queen Elizabeth oak is a veteran tree that holds life inside its wounds. Standing beside it, you can feel how history and nature meet. The story of a queen, the force of a lightning strike, the skill of old gardeners, and the steady work of plants and animals have all shaped this single remarkable tree. Number 6. Arbol del Tulle. The Arbol del Tulle is famous around the world. People call it the Tree of Tule. You can find it in the church grounds of Santa Maria del Tule in Oaxaca, Mexico. From a distance, it looks like a giant folded on itself. Up close, its trunk takes your breath away. This tree has the widest trunk ever measured. Its diameter is 9.38 meters, which is about 38 feet. That is wider than even the biggest giant sequoias. Scientists once thought the trunk grew from many trees growing together. New DNA tests proved those ideas wrong. The Tree of Tule is one single living organism. Its trunk goes all the way around for about 54 meters, or 178 feet. Its branches spread out across 51 meters, which is 170 feet, and make a huge circle of shade. The top of the tree reaches over 40 meters, roughly 130 feet, into the sky. Locals call it an ahuehuet, a Nahuatl word that means old man of the water. No one knows its exact age. Experts think it is between 1,400 and 2,000 years old. That means the tree has stood while many Mesoamerican civilizations rose and fell. Local Zapotec stories say a priest named Pecocha, who served the wind god Ehecatl, planted the tree long ago. The bark of the Tree of Tule is full of knots and bulges. Guides who lead visitors like to point out shapes in the wood. People say they can see an elephant, a lion, or even a crocodile hiding in the trunk. Number 5. Strangler Fig. The strangler fig is one of the most amazing trees on Earth. It does not start like ordinary trees. Instead of sprouting from the forest floor, it begins life high in the jungle canopy. A bird or a monkey often drops a tiny seed into a crack on a branch or in a hole in another tree. The seed germinates there and becomes an epiphyte, a plant that lives on another plant. It sends thin, rope-like roots down toward the ground. As the roots reach the soil, they thicken and keep growing. They wrap around the host tree's trunk, forming a tight, wooden lattice. The fig's leaves spread above and slowly block the light that the host tree needs. Over time, the host tree weakens. It may die and rot away. When that happens, the fig stands alone. What is left is a hollow, freestanding fig tree. Inside its walls, you can still make out the shape of the vanished host. Strangler figs play a huge role in tropical forests. They make lots of fruit that feed birds, bats, and monkeys. Because of this, they are called keystone species, because many other animals depend on them. They also help forests survive storms. Studies show that when cyclones hit, trees wrapped by strangler figs are about 4 times more likely to stay standing. The fig's strong roots act like guy wires and help stabilize the trunk. When the host tree finally disappears, the hollow inside the strangler fig becomes a home. Reptiles, birds, and mammals use these cavities for shelter and nesting. In this way, a strangler fig's strange life, starting upside down, strangling, and then becoming a protector, keeps the forest alive and full of life. Number 4. Bristlecone Pines. High on windswept mountain slopes, where the air thins and life seems scarce, a handful of trees quietly hold the story of our planet. These are the bristlecone pines, some of the oldest living things on Earth. Imagine a tree that began growing when the world was very different. One of them, known as Methuselah, has more than 4,850 rings. That means it was already alive long before the Egyptian pyramids rose from the desert. Bristlecone pines live high in California, Nevada, and Utah, often near the timberline, up to about 12,000 feet above sea level. The places they call home are harsh, freezing temperatures, thin soil made of hard dolomite rock, and fierce, unending winds. These difficult conditions stunt their growth. The trees grow so slowly that their wood becomes dense and full of resin. This makes them tough, resistant to insects, rot, and disease, and gives them a twisted, ancient look. Their slow, steady growth also makes them precious to scientists. Every ring in a bristlecone pine records a year of climate. Dendrochronologists, scientists who study tree rings, read these rings like pages in a massive book. From them, researchers can reconstruct thousands of years of climate history and even help calibrate radiocarbon dating. In this way, these trees are not just survivors. They are living archives that carry climate stories and help us understand Earth's past. If you visit the American West, you can walk among these quiet elders in protected groves. The best-known place is the ancient bristlecone pine forest in California's White Mountains. There, weathered trunks twist into shapes shaped by centuries of wind and snow. Standing beside one of these trees, you feel time itself compressed into knots and rings, an ancient witness to many thousands of years. Number 3. Wisteria. The famous Wisteria at Ashikaga Flower Park feels like something from a fairy tale. It is not a tree, but a woody vine trained to grow like one. For more than a century, people have guided its branches over a huge frame so the vine becomes a blooming roof. The wisteria grows in Tochigi Prefecture, about 2 hours from Tokyo. Some parts of the plant are about 150 to more than 200 years old. Over time, it has spread across half an acre, roughly 600 square meters. The gardeners built supports and beams so the vine could stretch and form a vast canopy. Each spring, the canopy fills with long, hanging clusters of flowers. Colors range from deep purple and pink to pale blue and snowy white. When the blooms fall together, they create a scene that looks like a living ceiling of color. Visitors walk under long tunnels of flowers, including a 260-foot arch where they can stand and look up at clouds of blossoms. At night, the park uses special lights to show the wisteria in a new way. The lights make the blooms glow softly, giving the whole canopy an otherworldly feeling. For many people, standing beneath that flowering roof is a quiet, unforgettable moment, like stepping into a place where nature and human care have created something nearly magical. Number 2. Cannonball Tree. At first, you notice the scent, a sweet perfume that hangs in the warm forest air. Then you see the fruits, heavy round balls clinging to the trunk like iron ornaments. This is the cannonball tree. It lives in South American rainforests and surprises you with how it grows. Instead of flowering at the branch tips, it blooms and bears fruit straight from its thick trunk. Bright waxy flowers of pink and yellow open close to the tree's skin, filling the air with that strong scent. The fruits are large and hard, like wooden spheres. When they fall from heights of 50 to 75 feet, they can crack on impact and spill a sticky, smelly pulp. That pulp is unpleasant to the nose, but it helps the tree. Animals are drawn to the fallen fruit and move the seeds, allowing the tree to spread across the forest. People have found other uses for the cannonball tree as well. In India and Sri Lanka, the flowers are used in ceremonies because of their intense fragrance. In traditional medicine, leaves and fruit pulp have been used for antiseptic and antifungal treatments. Strange and bold, the cannonball tree is a striking example of nature's creativity. A tree that smells like flowers, drops heavy fruits, and quietly shapes the life around it. Number 1. Monkey puzzle trees. The monkey puzzle tree looks as if it came from another world. High on the rocky slopes of Chile and Argentina, this strange tree defies everything we expect from a tree. Its branches and thick triangular leaves form sharp interlocking patterns, like armor against the sky. Scientists call it a living fossil because its lineage goes back more than 200 million years. That means relatives of this tree shared the planet with dinosaurs. Those armored leaves were not just for show. Researchers believe they made the tree difficult to climb and hard to chew, a natural defense against giant plant eaters. The monkey puzzle survives where the land is brutal, on rough ground and near dormant volcanoes. Its bark is thick and fire-resistant, so whole groves can withstand massive blazes and even lava flows. That toughness makes the species a true survivor. Young trees grow in neat pyramids. As they age, they shed lower branches and stretch into tall, clean trunks. Mature trees spread wide, umbrella-like crowns, and can reach 40 to 50 meters in height. They grow slowly, but can live more than 1,000 years, sometimes up to 1,300. For the Mapuche and Pehuenche people, this tree, called the pehuen, is sacred. Female cones yield large, nutritious seeds that were a vital food source for centuries. Strange, ancient, and resilient, the monkey puzzle tree is a living link to deep time. Stand beneath one, and you feel that long history pressing gently down from the branches.